With me is president of the Family Research Council, Tony Perkins, and one of the world's leading branding experts, Bruce Turkel. All right, gentlemen, I'll start with you, Tony. Ralph Reed from the Family and Freedom Coalition says suspending Robertson was a brazen act of anti-Christian bigotry. Was it?
Well, first of all, let me say, I think the Ducks are probably down with your suggestion that it's all about the Ducks, all right?
Oh, that was good. Ducks are down. That was good.
Look, I think what it is there's this growing hostility to anyone who speaks out publicly about a politically incorrect topic. And we're seeing this increasingly. We're seeing people that are targeted for their religious views. We saw just, you know, and this comes in the context of some legal cases. This is not a legal case, obviously, but we saw just a couple of weeks ago a Colorado baker forced by the court to participate in same-sex weddings, even though he has a religious objection. We've seen photographers the same way. So it does follow in a string of those like GLAAD who are wanting to target anyone who says, hey, I have a traditional view of morality, and I see natural marriage as a unit of a man and a woman.
Bruce, let me go to you. Do you think that Christians have lost the right to quote from the Bible?
Well, Judge, first of all, I have to say your opening statement was more eloquent than I could ever put any of this. I agree with you 100%. My question is, how long are we going to continue to watch this unfortunate rubberneck at this unfortunate accident? I think there's something bigger going on here. I think what we're seeing is a conflict that was just going to happen. Don't you agree?
Well, I think, you know, well, let me ask you, Tony, do you?
I think that the reason this has gotten so much attention is that we are seeing case after case after case. I mean, look, go back to the summer before last with Chick-fil-A, a very similar situation. And the response to that, Chick-fil-A had their biggest sales ever. People are now more interested in what's happening with Duck Dynasty. I think in part because they see this as the trend in culture of this imposing of political correctness by the cultural elite, and people feel like they're being silenced, and they want to speak out, and
Tony,
they support those who do.
let me ask you something. Bruce, I'm sure, will back me up on this. TV is about the demographic. And Bruce, I think that you've indicated in the past that, you know, Duck Dynasty wants very much, you know, to keep their younger demographic, or A&E, I should say, wants to keep the younger demographic, the younger people, and therefore what they want or what they have to do is kowtow based on money.
Well, of course, A&E is going to look at the bottom line. They are a business. What's important, though, is to understand that the consumers, the viewers on both sides of the argument, are looking for authenticity. The question becomes, who do you trust? Who is being authentic to who they really are? And that's the struggle that I think we're seeing.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think Bruce is absolutely right. This is after all, this is a reality show, and these guys are supposed to be real. They live in the Bible Belt. This is who they are, and A&E is surprised by that. And I think in part that's why people are so attracted to the show, why it's the top-rated reality show.
But you know, one of the things that you just said, and you know, A&E is surprised by that. I would bet dollars to donuts that A&E has many times edited out statements that Phil has made that they thought might not be, you know, palatable to their audience.
That was a rhetorical statement.
Yes.
You're absolutely right. They know exactly what they're dealing with, but pressure was applied to them by GLAAD, that organization,
right,
that it targets anyone who speaks out in a view that's contrary to theirs on homosexuality.
Okay, Bruce, you're the branding expert here. What about, you know, when they made the decision to suspend this patriarch here, can he sue them? And I know you haven't seen the contract, but I wonder if he can turn around and say, you know what? Even if there is a morals clause in my contract, you're suspending me. Any money that I may have lost, I'm going to sue you for.
Well, that is possible if you look at the contract, but come on, let's look at the big picture. He's not losing any money because of this. He's making more money than ever. He's on your show, Judge. He wasn't on it before. This is working out for all of them. That's the issue. This is not an issue of authenticity, which is what we all want. These are two business organizations trying to do what's best for their businesses. The question is, who is doing what's real and who's only thinking about the bottom line.
And then the other piece to it is then you've got the right and the left, you know, fighting over whatever issue they can to stay at each other's throats.
Right,
so,
exactly.
And then you've got, you know, the evangelicals, and then you've got the gay and lesbian community, you've got the Bible, you've got the First Amendment. I mean, it's fascinating on so many levels.
It is indeed.
And Tony, let me give you the
Bruce's-
last word here.
Well, to Bruce's point, I think what people are looking for is that authenticity, but also fairness, and they're struggling with this. Even those who may not agree with what the Bible says about homosexuality are saying, is this fair? Is this fair what's happening in our culture, where those who speak about traditional morality are targeted? And I think that's a question that's going to have to be answered.
Clearly. All right, Tony and Bruce, thank you so much.
Thank you.